Good morning, good evening, good afternoon and good night to any who are watching this stamp collecting fun video. It is the 25th of May and guess well, we've got the date here as a reminder for me, and we got a bit of gardening to do, but unfortunately George is planting stamps rather than plants. Plant plants, George, not stamps, says his missus, but we say plant stamps, don't we? The usual suspects here, a nice cup of tea and Adolf the mouse, and also the sun has made an appearance and maybe a neighbour also. But enough of that. By the way, I've only got another 6 to do, I think, before this is full, and then I'm going to decide what to do with this. If you have any ideas about what I could do with it, let me know. I hesitate to say drop me a comment in the... Drop me a... I don't know, whatever it is everybody says. What I'm looking at today is Eire. I did another page. Decided to hinge up some stamps from the Eire envelope. Already done this page. I did find a Guinness and Arthur Guinness the other day, which I put up and I've just dated now. 1959. But I came upon these, so I thought I'd load them up a little bit on some card paper, get them hinged, get them behind plastic, get them in a file. So what have we got here? 1984. Now these dates are purely based on what Google Lens is telling me. So their guess is probably worse than... It's no way worse than mine. It gives me a sort of roundabout date. So if it could be 84, it could be 85. Who knows? It's around about that era, though. So this is a rock of Cashel, which is a series of buildings, including Cormac's Chapel, ecclesiastical buildings in, I believe, Dublin. And it was deemed worthy of a stamp in their sort of religious buildings series. And I don't know how many are in the series. I hope to come across more. Will I investigate how many more are in the series, or am I simply interested in gathering stamps and putting them up as they come to me? Probably that. Could be my age. The second one here, that's 26, that's a 24. Now it's the same stamp, different colour, different denomination, different value. And both refer to Rock of Cashel and Cormac's Chapel and other names of ecclesiastic buildings, but they had different stamps. This one here, St Macdara. St Macdara. I'm butchering the Irish language, aren't I? But this is like a little chapel in, I believe, Connemara. And it almost has the date there. It may have the date there, I don't know. But these are lovely little etchings, aren't they, of historical religious buildings that still exist, just about, I think. So that's nice. Then we move down, and here we have Michael O'Cleary, who was a monk, I believe, a long time ago. And these are 1944 stamps, so just towards the end of the Second World War. Ireland, of course, was neutral in that war, so they were carrying on. Now, of course, many Irish were involved in the war. And there's Latin language and Docum something day. Maybe it's the Gaelic language, I don't know. But no doubt this Michael O'Cleary, he was doing something with the Bible, translating the Bible maybe into Gaelic. That would be a good thing. Hundreds of years ago. So that's quite nice. And then I came across a number of birds, which is something unusual for stamp collectors. And here we have... it's not a series of birds, but as birds came out, I thought I'd put them in a row. 1997 robin, it's also got the Irish, or the Gaelic I should say, the Irish language above the name Robin. So Spideog, Spideog. The chaffinch, the Rirua, and it's also got the Latin name there. Has it got Latin name on this? Yes, it has, but I can't read that. But I can read that, but I won't attempt. Well, I'll attempt. Figlia Colibius. No, I'm wrong there. But this is the as we Irish say, it's the Rirua, the chaffinch. The grey heron. That's a lovely bird. Look at the beak on that and look at the legs on it. But of course you need the beak and the legs to be wading about in water. Can I pull up the Irish grey heron? Calf. I can't see what it says in Gaelic. And finally in this we have the corncrake, beautiful coloured bird. This messes about in water. This prefers the fields where there's corn. And he's the Traunach. The cancellation has butchered his face a little bit, but it's a lovely stamp. Eire, corncrake. One thing about these Eire stamps is they do have Eire on it, not Ireland, which I do like. 1997, did I say that was the last one? No, we have this other one. The Peregrine Falcon, 1997. So this is a Falcon Goom. Falcon Goom in Gaelic. A proud, beautiful bird that looks for other birds or small creatures as its feast. So this likes fish, this likes corn, this likes little small mammals, this would like worms and seeds. And the robin, he just likes bits of bread thrown at to him. So it's, same sort of creatures but different food. Then we go down a little bit to the primrose. So I thought, what I've done with the birds, I can do with plants. 48 cents, Eire, primrose. I mean, these are British Isles birds and plants. We're all the same stock. We're finding that out. Eire, 48 cents, 2004 primrose. 2004 again, so there seems to be a series. And this is the hawthorn. And I suspect there will be more popping up when I start to look a little bit harder maybe in the box of the washing machine box, the ins and outs. Okay, we go down now. And now we enter the European era. So Eire, Europe, 1973 is on the stamp, and I've put that down there, so there's all sorts of dots and things. I'm not sure if that's a flag, I don't know. 1985, industrial innovation, this stamp is about. So you have a young man digging and, not digging, sort of doing something with machinery by the look of it, on the farm. So he could be digging or he could be cleaning, I don't know what he's doing. But it's all about industrialisation of Ireland. So are we going from farming to industrialisation? Probably. Everything changes. 1973 ploughing. This is actually a ploughing competition that took place in 1973. Where I live in North Wales in Denbighshire, they have ploughing competitions. And what it does is it helps, all the farmers get together and plough everybody's fields, and they use it as a competition. So it's like, instead of going to work, you have a competition. It's fun, it's joyous, it's a way of getting your ploughing done It's a wonderful idea. And we came to a gap there. So we go downwards, ever downwards. 1989, Great Southern Railways. And it is on the stamp. It's 1984 on the council, so that may be a 4 rather than a 9. Also, as it's 26, that sort of fits there, doesn't it? With regards to the cost of the stamp. You can sort of gauge, if I can use that train to railway term, you can gauge, I'll say it again in case it was missed, what sort of year or at least decade the stamp is from based on what it costs. So we go backwards here to 12. Irish Europa again. Sept Europa, Eire. There's some sort of lake. Don't believe there's a name to the lake. Or is it a loch? I don't know. Then we go back to 78 again, so that's 10, that's 12. Again a Europa. Connolly Folly. Presumably somebody called Connolly built a modern edifice based on something from the past, and those are like follies. A sort of two-tone going on there. And finally, we come to the sort of modernish. It's not. It's 24 years ago. Water resources. Families messing about in water. Clean water. I think that's what it's about. Maintaining the water clarity, cleanliness, and safely. Being able to use, drink, swim, enjoy. Because we are water. We are a water creature. We are many things. You know, we live in trees, or we can live on the plain, or we can live not in the water, but we certainly need to get into water. I mean, most of us are made, well, all of us, not most of us, all of us are mostly made of water. Think about that for a minute. So if we don't return to the water on occasions, or if we don't imbibe some of the water, we wouldn't survive. We are water creatures, and we need good, clean, healthy, splashable, family-based water. So that's what I'm up to with this new page. I'm going to just go back to the old page. It's a pretty poor legend there, but you know, I put all these old sort of oldish looking, you know, the spear one, or the sword of whoever, and the Celtic cross and the map. That's got a nice good old bite out of it. These creatures here, but also some more modern ones are in here. So that's Cormac's Chapel again. Yes, Thomas Clark, 1933 stamp, Constitution. And yeah, and let me turn over. And this was a page that I inherited. Well, I bought some pages, and this was within it. I did steal that, so that is me. I thought I'll tell you the stamp it is now. It is this one. So I removed it from here to here. And I'll replace it in time, possibly. And I also added this one to sit there. So that, you can't beat looking at stamps. So that's my latest collection. Is it a collection? It's. I seem to think that I'm putting more Republic of Ireland stamps back in the box instead of putting them up. So that's why I started this page. It is. I had an Eire anyway on the you know, with the Greek and the Hungarian stuff. So I thought it's time to add to it. It's time to really get to work on that, fill it out a bit, feed it, if you will. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you tomorrow, all being well. The sun is just about coming out here, so maybe I'll get in the garden like George and plant some stamps. Bye for now.